on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? God, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prampram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prum Prum, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
At work,
at home.
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Call the studio now.
Broadcasting live online.
Body is your ma. Bekutu. Show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harrison, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And that's how you know. Just have fun and stay blessed.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Star Radio UK and the Morning Show.
Star Radio, radio for the people, by the people.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. I want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Star Radio UK Friday edition of the Morning Show, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the Morning Show with Archie.
Okay, so from now till exactly 1 o'clock, as the case may be, I'm going to bring you everything from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. It's making the headlines. We're going to be touching on it. But let me take the opportunity to say good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. I hope you are doing very, very well. And then to Perry as well in the house. Massive good morning to you, gentlemen. And let me say good morning to my money man himself, our money man, who will be joining us at 12:30. If time permits, coming on live at 12:30, we'll be having our money man joining in. Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, I salute you. Hope you are doing very, very well. And let me say good morning to all presenters, present and past presenters on Star Radio UK, who are always there behind the scenes, making sure that everything takes along very carefully and well. Mr. Frank Davis, good morning to you. Mr. Laimi Koike, good morning. Kebi, good morning to you. Vicky Newton, good morning. Empress Regina Anima, massive good morning to you. It was lovely catching up late. Good morning to you all. Bishop Adesina, good morning. Anthony Adedeji Shamsuddin, massive good morning to you all there, wherever you might find yourself. My brother Felix, all the way in Aberdeen, massive good morning to you, sir. Hope you are doing good. And I take this opportunity to also say good morning to no other one but the one and only Eben, all the way in Cape Town, South Africa, and Antonio, the family there, I salute you. Tosino, all the way in Moscow, good morning. To all of you who listen to us via the Koiki Media platforms, Yoruba Nation platforms, or United States of Biafra platforms, good morning. All the clergy behind us, Reverend Emmanuel Sekchidi, Reverend Michael Esiama, Captain Tete, and what? All of you behind the scenes, my apostle, brother HB, Bishop, Reverend Dr. Francis Okonunu, massive good morning to you all there. They are ones behind the scenes all the time, giving us the urge, just pushing us on the neck and just pushing us on, and we continue to go on and on and on and on. Massive good morning to you, Abulaji Abdullahi, good morning. Hope you are all doing very, very well. Atakofi, good morning. Ni Anana Joe, good morning. He's the chief of our chairman. Massive good morning to you. Delta Hammond, all the way I was going to say Cape Town, no, in Kumasi, in Ghana, good morning. To Mom, Mrs. Ryder Hammond, good morning to you. The family there, I salute each and every one of you. Once again, I say welcome to the program. Mami Kwabia, in London, good morning and welcome to the Friday edition of the morning show. Now let's kick off. I'm going to bring you the code for the day. The weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as what? Global Trotting. Then after we continue and then have a look at some of the other the details of those stories. At a 11:45 the line is activated and we continue with the discussions, and then at 12:30 we'll have our money man joining in if he's going to time permits him to be live on the show. Well, last week we had a very wonderful time with him looking at the chancellor's budget for that was announced in November. Its impacts and stuff and the changes there pertaining to your taxes and all those bit. He managed to break it down for you to understand. But today, God willing, if we have him live, we're going to be looking at self-assessment. That is supposed to every individual who does self-assessment is supposed to file by the end of January. That's the 31st. My apologies, the 31st of January. If not, a penalty and all those bits that is supposed to be ensuing. So you have to make sure that your DAS are logged on Starr Radio UK so you don't miss anything there. But like I say all the time, for all your accounting issues, name them. You want to set up a business, you want all the necessary or maybe you want to go to the bank for the money, you want business plan and all those bits to be able to get a loan to start whatever it is. You get in touch with GIL Accountancy Services where our money is the CEO, and he will give you all the directions. So during the course of the program, we'll be bringing more details of that. But wherever you are this morning, once again, I say massive good morning. Mrs. Evelyn Tabiri, good morning. Pastor Mrs. Salome Adro and Pastor Joseph Adro and the family, all in MK, Milton Keynes, good morning to you. Wherever you are, share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. Let's crack on. Now, by the quote for the day, it says, all who learn to be smart and embrace hard work eventually succeed in life. All who learn to be smart and embrace hard work eventually succeed in life. So if you are doing all that and you've not gotten there yet, you've got another hurdle to climb and to jump over and all those bits. Be rest assured, you're on your way. You're on your way. Rejections have come through. Yes, you are on your way to succeed. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So what has the weather got in store for us today and over the weekend? Well, this morning looks looking through the windows of the CCTV and have debates. I can see that it is sunny out there, but how is it like in your area? Well, for London and the southeastern part of England, England, this is how the weather is going to be for you today and over the weekend. Now, this afternoon it will become largely dry, and there will be lengthier bright spells and just a few patches of cloud. Gentle to moderate winds expected. Now, tonight going to be clear spells and variable clouds to start with. And in the early hours, it will become cloudier with some showery rain moving in from the west. A milder night and easterly winds expected as well. The top temperature is going to be 10 degrees. The low is going to be 7 degrees. UV level is going to be low and pollution is going to be low as well. Now, when it comes to the weekend weather, tomorrow we'll have an overcast, starting with an overcast with some patches of rain around. It will turn drier in the afternoon with just a few spots of rain in places, and cloud will break up to reveal late brightness. Now, Sunday is expected to be largely cloudy, perhaps with an odd spot of rain, light rain or drizzle under the thickest cloud. Monday looks to be mainly cloudy. Okay, and when it comes to the temperatures, Saturday we'll have top temperature 10 degrees and the lowest 6 degrees. Sunday, same 10 degrees and the lowest 6 degrees as well. Sunset for today, 16:22, and sunrise for tomorrow morning, 07:59 hours. And this is the Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a break, and then I take you on your travel. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep. Okay, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
You are listening to Starr Radio Morning Show.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, and it's now gone exactement 18 minutes past the top of the hour. That's 18 minutes past 11 here in the UK GMT. So wherever you are, if you are in Nigeria, it will be 18 minutes past 12, and add or subtract as per the time schedule, but taking GMT as the standard. All right, let's now move on to global trotting. That's your travels. You can share with us what is happening in your area. For those of you in London using the underground this morning, the Victoria line is experiencing minor delays on the entire line due to earlier customer incident at Victoria. So please check it out. That aside, all the other underground lines are running good service, overground, good service, DLR, London Tramlink, and yes, all running good service there. On the major roads in London, yeah, the minor roads, I don't want to talk about it. This morning, coming in, and there'll be one roadblock at the beginning part of, the Windmill Road. Yes, one roadblock there, and then you come further. If you want to use some of the back roads to get in as well, there's been 2 roadblocks there as well. So to get to the Windmill Road is quite a difficult task. But well, let us tell you what is happening. On the major roads, the A roads, there are no exceptional delays there for you, so you can just zoom through it like no man's business. The riverbank is already running a good service. The landing cable car, good service there. Let's look at the National Rail. As I say, keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. Have to keep you navigated. Our promise, our bond. Yeah. So on the National Rail this morning, East Midlands Railways, Great Western Railway, Northern Rail, Southwestern Railway, and Southern are all offering special services. That aside, all the others are running a good service. Well, as and when there are any changes during the course of the program, be rest assured of one thing: I'm going to bring you to the fore. That is why you have to just continue to listen to us, because you don't have to touch the dial. But this is why I will say it once again, as I normally would. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes where? On the roads. A commercial break. We come back. Then where are we going? Global Trotting.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Prampram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. This is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say good morning to Mrs. Donna Kwanzaa.
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Hope you are doing very, very well there. We'll catch up later. All right, then. Now, let's kick off. 11:23. And what have I got for you? Let's go. Global Trotting. So, yes. During the course of yesterday, I did bring you the story pertaining to the sacking of Robert Jenrick. And then the subsequent appearance and acceptance on the within the Reform Party, and then this morning coming out with some other stories pertaining to some information or some statement that he made that is going viral this morning. So, general replacement says public is sick of backstabbing following reform defection. New Shadow Justice Secretary Nick Timothy, the Conservative Party, tells the Conservative Party the party will move on from Robert Jenrick following his defection. Now, Jenrick said, "We've been on high alert how Jenrick's dramatic sacking and defection unfolded." Now, in other stories as well, judgment due after nurses challenge NHS trust for allowing trans women to use female changing room. The debate will go on. Government to give cash payout to people in financial crisis. And bereaved mother hopes for TikTok accountability. Are we going to see that at all? And if they do that, wouldn't they be opening the Pandora box? And what will come out of it? Well, so we're not very sure what is going to happen. But hey, wherever it is, Star Radio UK. And another story that is live as well. Curtains have been lifted after 2 World War II bombs successfully removed. From where? I'm going to be telling you. Now, in other stories making the rounds this morning, in the U.S., you know what? Venezuela Nobel Peace Prize winner presents a medal to Trump. I will talk about it later, right? Because they said, get it, this is all that you wanted. I received it, I'll give it to you. What if next year the Nobel Peace Prize decide to give it to Trump because it's brought about or seen to lots of resolving lots of conflicts or making sure it's still in discipline and peace as the school prefect then. Interesting. In other stories, China and Canada announced tariff relief after high stakes meeting between Kanye and Xi. Canola oil and electric cars are at the center of the deal agreed by Mark Carney and Xi Jinping after years of strained ties. Well, you don't cut your nose to spite your face. So what are you doing? Well, next door, the president is being tough, but hey, this is what we're going to do. Let's move on. Trump threatens to invoke Insurrection Act to quell anti-ICE protests in Minnesota. Well. The less I talk about it, the better. Trump aims to keep everyone guessing over Iran action. It's like he's taking his foot off the pedal, but you don't know whether he's just trying to just relax it, and when you've taken your eyes off the boy, just suddenly boom. Well, you want to know that, gotta stay tuned because we're going to be bringing you more from that front. And U.S. forces seized a 6 Venezuelan linked oil tanker in the Caribbean Sea. Meanwhile, you said you've taken over the country, so why are you going on seizing that? Bodies of Cuban killed during the U.S. raid on Venezuela has been returned as well. And jail Venezuelan politician son says Trump shouldn't be fooled by pledge of prisoner release. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. Well, in Europe as well, U.S. Congress members visit Denmark as Trump pressure on Greenland rises. The visit comes after high-level talks in Washington failed to dissuade Trump from his plan to annex the semi-autonomous Danish territory. What will happen? What will happen? So the Julius Iglesias denies sexual assault allegation. And troops and vessels from European NATO allies arrive in Greenland. Is there going to be a stand against what do you call them, US, or they are saying that we are sharing that we are keeping an eye on this island so that China or Russia will not invade that place as Trump has been championing. Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. A song got been banned from Swedish charts for being AI creation. So boy, if you create a song using AI, they say that they're not going to allow it to play. I can play that. Can't you? Okay. There are lots of songs that are coming out now that are all AI generated or creation. But let's see what is happening on that front. In the Middle East as well, Israel moves yellow line deeper into Gaza. Satellite images show Israel's plays and later move control markers in 3 areas, with some plays deeper inside Gaza than maps suggested. And Iran authorities demanding large sums for return of protesters' bodies. It's quite an interesting one. We killed them. You want the bodies, you have to pay big, very big. Okay, let's move on to Asia as well. Now, investigation after Air India jet engine sucks in cargo container at Delhi airport. Wow, how come? Okay. And then South Korea ex-president Jong to be jailed for 5 years over martial law bid. You remember? He was the one who knighted that, and then the military it's the MPs who decided no, we're not going to be allowing that, and they came in, and now the whole thing just went pear-shaped, and now he's going to be facing 5 years over martial law bid. Let's see how it all pans out. That's the impeached president. We'll be telling you more about that. And then, well, interestingly, when it comes to Australia, so my wife says she doesn't want to go to Australia. The other time, my other girl says, daughter says that she wanted to go to Australia, and then I was saying, okay, you know what happens? Well, one of the things that they've got all these creepy crawlies, big spiders. And then now, one of the things that they've been talking about are snakes. Well, a woman woke up in Australia saying, baby, don't move. Australian woman wakes to find massive python on her chest. Ooh. And what do you do if it were you? Okay, and US to cut tariffs on Taiwanese goods after investment pledge. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, still on Global Trotting. In other stories making the round, Tanzania president expressed regret over election day internet shutdown. But does that change anything pertaining to the election per se? Well, Uganda election internet blackout meets Tanzania's warning. But will she? I mean, virtually, whatever it's going to be, is going to be. Museveni leaves Uganda presidential vote with 61.7% in early count. Well, of course. Interesting, right? Well, free and fair. All right. So in other stories, making the rise in Nigeria, IMF backs Nigeria CPI rebasing as inflation eases to 15.15 percentage point. Now, LIRS reiterates January 31 deadline for employers' annual tax return filing. Okay, I thought I did. Well, everybody has got their own tax regime, right? Okay, after Farouk Ahmed exit, Dangote refinery raises in-country petrol supply by 65%. So was the man sabotaging what Dangote was doing at all? Well. This is Star Radio UK. In other stories making the rounds on the African continent, notably this around in Ghana, Attorney General dispels too many lawyers, claim cites rural justice gap. Well, everybody is becoming a lawyer in Ghana, right? Everybody. I think I will be a lawyer as well. I want to be a lawyer. And then, yeah. So, quite an interesting one. But police had retrieved vehicles used in 2024 Adabraka jewelry robbery. Suspects still in custody. An Attorney General appointment was an honor, not a surprise. Ayeni is saying. Well, we'll be telling you more about that on that front. Okay. Let's move on. We'll be bringing you more from that. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the breakdown of fans Sadina Tamaklo embezzle that led to her 10-year sentence. Well. She's been convicted. Sadina Tamaklo arrested and detained in the U.S. An illegal alien. U.S. ICE confirms offerata of a state visa and is facing extradition or deportation. So let's see how that all pans out. Nana Kumia descends on Professor Frimpong Boateng. Well, the professor says, you people are all just arrest my case. Well, IMF is still maintaining that $240 million loss under Ghana's gold purchase program advocates reforms in risks management. So, actually, did it happen? And the energy minister has petitioned IGP to probe alleged assault on ministry staff by the police. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We go now out for a break, and then once we come back, I will bring you all the details of the stories that we've looked at this morning. Starting off from where? The UK front. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Star Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Otta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. This is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now exactly to 11:37, and let's bring you the details of the stories that we've had a look at. You can share your take with us by posting on the platforms that we are broadcasting on, and also when the line is activated via Teams, you can also call in. You call via Teams, and that is Star Radio UK. You go to Teams, look for Star Radio UK, and we'll be right there with you. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial. All right then, now let's move on to the pertinent issues we are looking at here in the UK. Now, Kemi Badenoch says she is not worried about further defections, and the Conservative Party is stronger without Robert Jenrick. Now, the Tory party leader says Nigel Farage has done her spring cleaning a day after her former Shadow Justice Secretary dramatic sacking and defection to Reform UK. Now, earlier, new Shadow Justice Secretary Nick Timothy said that the Tories will move on from Robert Jenrick, adding that the public are absolutely sick of the backstabbing. Now, Jenrick has accused the Tories of making grave mistakes in government. He is the second sitting Tory MP to defect to Reform following Danny Kruger in September 2025. Well, more is unfolding. It is the biggest coup for Farage so far, and will help him take on the jive from his opponents that Reform is a one-man band. Well, that's what Chris Mason has also said there. But Labour has said Nigel Farage's promise of Labour defection to Reform UK should be taken with a pinch of salt, says Chancellor Rachel Reeves. Her comments come after the Reform leader yesterday claimed he will unveil a Labour defector next week. Well, it's quite an interesting one. So people are jumping ship like no man's business. Are they ascribing to the policies of Nigel Farage? And well, if you're in a sinking ship and you see that there's another ship that is coming and is giving you, throwing a rope to you, that your ship is sinking and you have to hold that rope and that you can sustain yourself or save yourself, would you still be there? Or would you jump out? Well, next week is only about a couple of days away, right? So we hope to see what happens on that front. But Badenoch says she is not afraid for further defections and that her party is a strong, united team. I remember back in the day when Theresa May was there when she went to give a speech, and then when she went on further to say, we are strong and stable, and they were going on strong and stable, and the writings on the wall were falling during the Conservative Party conference, and strong and stable and all those bits. So it's quite an interesting one. There. Let's see how that pans about. All Reform are doing is talking about themselves. Badenoch adds, only one party is focused on the issues that matter, she says, and that is the Conservatives. People are sick and tired of psychodrama. They want to know how their lives are going to be better. If anyone is considering defecting, the message is very clear. Badenoch says, adding that Farage is doing my spring cleaning for me. All right, Badenoch says she's thrilled that chaos is leaving the Conservative Party. So he says that Robert Jenrick is chaotic. Okay, and so instead of her to spring clean her own party, she sees Nigel doing that for her. All right, but 8 key Conservative defections to from UK. High-profile former Tories who have switched sides since 2024. The latest one, Robert Jenrick, that is in January 2026, sitting MP and ex-cabinet minister. Nadeem Zahawi, January 2026, former cabinet minister. Jonathan Gallis, December 2025, former MP and junior minister. Danny Kruger, September 2025, sitting MP and ex-minister. Jake Berry, September 2025, former MP and minister. Nadine Dorris, former cabinet minister in September 2025. And Andrea Jenkins, November 2024, former MP and junior minister. The final one there, Lee Anderson, who is a sitting MP and ex-party deputy chairman, who is now the leader of the Reform Party in Scotland. Well, with all these movements, do you think it's having an impact? And especially looking at the statement that has been revealed about generic statement that he made about Nigel Farage. Would you take him on as well? Somebody, maybe he couldn't see his nose from his face, but later on, when the storms and everything has cleared, he could see clearly, and now knows that, well, I think Reform is the best party and want to go on with that. So whatever he said in the past, he said, well, I can see clearly now as the rain or the storms or as everything is clear. Now, and some other stories there referring to the generic departure or leaving to the Reform Party. Roger in Lincoln called generic a fraud and says that Reform will rue the day ever had him. They rue the day they ever had him in the party. He wants to be prime minister, and I think he's going to destroy Reform from the inside because he wants to be party leader, Roger says. But Stuart Matthews, a Reform councillor in Nottinghamshire, welcomes generic to his party and says the former Tory will prove an asset because he understands the government. Howard in Elstree says generic is sincere in what he wants to do, as the Conservative Party has changed beyond recognition since generic joined it as a teenager. Now, Teresa in Northern London says she wishes politicians will stop denigrating each other the whole time. And the final one person said that she went on to say, I just want them to run the country. She says, adding that she feels negative media coverage is contributing to a general malice about politics. Well, that is how the politics is degenerated into or descended into such mad waters with everybody throwing punches. But well, we've not got into a place where we see punches, real punches in the houses of the House of Commons. We've not seen that. But I'm saying good morning to my baby sister Delta, all the way in Kumasi in Ghana, and say hello to mom for me as well. Lovely seeing you there. Hope you're all doing very, very well. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK at 11:45, and let me say it this way: the line is open. Just call us via Teams. Just look for Starr Radio UK, and your voice will be heard. All right, then let's continue. Now, so in other stories making the round this morning, a judgment has just landed in an employment case brought by a group of nurses who objected to their hospital trust following a trans woman to use the female changing room. Now, they said we're looking through the judgment now, but we'll be bringing you more on that. The 8 nurses claim they face indirect discrimination, harassment, and victimization due to Darlington and County Durham NHS Trust policies on trans staff. Now, Simon Chatham, KC, representing the NHS Trust, said staff were only given access to single-sex spaces. If they had declared they were living in their life fully in that gender, which was a higher threshold than the nurses claim. The changing room at Darlington Memorial Hospital was used by operating department practitioner Rose Henderson, who is a biological male who identifies as a woman or as female. Now, the tribunal header Rose, who was referred to by first name at the tribunal and uses female pronouns, had used the changing room since 2019, and complaints were first made by female nurses from the day surgery unit in 2023. So the question is, let's say we're all here. Now you all know me as Archie. I'm a he, right? Okay. Now, so we have our own changing room where we go and then the makeup, and then we go and do all our stuff there. All right. So you all know me as such. Now, next week I come in and I said, well, I changed, and now a woman I want to be identified as such. So maybe I've not seen a name Archibald, the female form of Archibald there. So let's call it Archibald. All right. Okay, for lack of word. Now, and I all those who know me, the female staff who knew me as a he, now I go to where they change themselves, and I want to sit there and change with them. How will you feel? So I take my my trousers down, maybe I'm changing into something, or the women are there taking their stuff or putting on, they have their undergarments and stuff, and I'm there thinking, I'm a woman, you know, how would you feel? So I think that is about a time where maybe the hospitals or government, if they want to be doing so, create a safe space for those who are trans. Okay, let them go there. That is for them. So, but it's quite an interesting one. So maybe trans female, trans male. Catch my drift? But well, it's quite an interesting time that we live in this world. But what do you think? Let me know what you think about all this. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. The judgment has come in, but judgment in Darlington nurses' case, the tribunal judgment in the case brought by 8 nurses against the Darlington and County Durham NHS Trust has just landed. Well, we'll be telling you more about that. In closing, lawyer for Trust said nurses had unnecessarily demonized trans colleague. Have I demonized anybody this morning? No. I'm just thinking. He said I'm just thinking aloud. Unless, of course, you know me that I'm all that in the past, and when I come to sit by you women and all that, and I'm saying I'm trans, and then you know me. But again, they are looking at the person from a perspective that he has always been a man. But the question is, what makes somebody a woman and somebody a man? Is the organ. Yeah? So, maybe if they can check on that to say that, oh yeah, really, he's turned to a woman, then maybe. But maybe the person is in transition, right? Alright, let me play the devil's advocate here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The world that we live in. What will you do about that? Let's move on. In a sad story before we leave the UK and go to other parts of the world, a man and a woman, both aged 90, have died in a house fire in North London. The London Fire Brigade was called to a semi-detached house on Ebelmere Road, Barnet, where a fire had broken out on the ground floor shortly before 02 hours GMT. Their bodies were recovered from the house by firefighters and were later found to have died at the scene. The Metropolitan Police said their next of kin have been told and are being supported by specialist officers. The cause of the fire is currently unknown, and an investigation into the circumstances is underway. Officers attended the scene and assisted the London Fire Brigade with road closures, while firefighters worked to extinguish the fire, the force added. About 25 firefighters tackled the flames and brought the fire under control soon after 03 hours, so about an hour after the call out, they managed to bring the fire under control. But the question is, what really happened? What brought about the fire? All right, let's move on to other parts of the world. Well, wonderful, right? Now I want to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. I wasn't given. And I chastised the person that was given to. And now the person decides, you know what, let me come and just give it to him. All right, then. That seems to be their narrative. But let me tell you more about what is happening. A Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, had given her Nobel Peace Prize medal to President Donald Trump during a meeting at the White House, saying it was a recognition of his commitment to her country's freedom. Okay, that's a good one. So it was awarded me, but I think you are a better person qualified to receive that. But after the arrest of the Venezuelan former leader, Maduro, has there been any change? Is there any freedom there? Or a few political prisoners have been released and all that stuff? Does it give you a bit of hope there? Well, in a quote, she said, I think today is a historic day for us Venezuelans, she said, after meeting Trump in person for the first time, weeks after U.S. forces seized Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in Caracas and charged him in a drug trafficking case. The question once again that I've been posing is it giving a dog a bad name to hang it? So there might be ulterior motives to his arrest and arraignment before the courts. But what do you think? Or with those charges and with everything that was happening, makes the case probable that, well, he might have done what they are saying. But Trump said on social media, the move was a wonderful gesture of mutual respect, but the Nobel Committee has said the prize itself was not transferable. So, what do you think is going to happen there today? Okay. Well. And as I announced earlier on, this afternoon, exactly at 12:30, we're going to be having our Money Man. That is in the next 38 minutes. We're going to be having our Money Man. And today, as I did announce earlier on, we're going to be looking at self-assessment tax return that is due on the 31st. Who needs to do one? Key deadlines, penalties for late filing. You don't want to fall prey to that. So make sure you continue to listen to us, because exactly at 12:30, Money Man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, is going to be joining in. But like I said, for all your accounting issues, even before he comes on, all your accounting issues, whether it's corporate, whether it's whatever, name them. When it comes to, you want to have a business plan, you want to open a company, for lack of a word, let me use that, or register a company, whatever you want to do, you get in touch with them, GIL Accountancy Services, and they will give you the best of service. Yes, so let's continue with the program. As I said, at 12:30, he'll be joining us. Now, Trump said on social media, as I was saying, that the move was a wonderful gesture of mutual respect. But the Nobel Committee has said that the prize is not transferable. So the U.S. president has declined to endorse Machado as Venezuela's new leader, despite the movement claiming victory in 2024 widely contested election. Now, Trump has insisted dealing with the acting head of state in Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, Maduro's former vice president. But he said meeting Machado was a great honor, calling her a wonderful woman who has been through so much. But for sort of saying that she qualifies to be the leader of the country, because he was saying that he doesn't think that she's got the support of the country. An overwhelming support, of course. But he said meeting Machado was a great honor, calling her a wonderful woman. After leaving the White House, Machado spoke to supporters gathered at the gates outside, telling them in Spanish, according to Associated Press, "We can count on President Trump." I presented the President of the United States the Medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, Machado later told journalists in English, calling it a recognition for his unique commitment with our freedom. So, well, Trump has to get that, and he's happy. Woo! Are you giving that to me? Yes. It's quite interesting. You know, I do ask myself. You know, there are in Ghanaian parlance, it says there's something I would say, yeah, Australia. That's like if I say that you have this, okay? Can you see that? And then I say, can I have it? I want it, and then. You have other things that you can, but I'm pushing for it. Then you say, oh, okay, come for a photo opportunity, and I say, have it, and you see it. I end it. That seems to be the ploy. But you know, when it comes to his his ego. If you massage it a bit for him, oh, he feels good. And so maybe tomorrow we'll hear him, or today, during the course of the day, we'll hear him saying that, you know what, I think Machado is the best woman to lead the country, especially presenting me with this. What do you think? Let us also create something, an award. Maybe in Ghana as well, you can do that. In Nigeria, in other parts of the world, you can also do so. In the UK, I think we're going to be creating some wonderful Range Rover with all the modcoms and with a golden something to the best president in the world, to Trump. I think when we present that, he will love it and he will look away from any sanctions or anything that is making him angry pertaining to the UK. What do you think? All right, then. Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. At 11:57, at 12 o'clock, we'll take a break and then we'll come back with some more stories making the rounds this morning. But with everything that is going on, one other leader has made a good move, and I've been saying this time and time and over again. I was saying that, well, if I decide that, look, like, let me take a typical example of what is happening in Africa, especially West Africa, where we have the ECOWAS, and after coup d'etats in some other countries, Burkina Faso, Niger, and which one is the third one? Mali. They decided to get them out of the ECOWAS. Now, this decided, you know what, we're going to be forming our own group, and we'll be doing our thing, and then they're going to be trading amongst themselves. So they are doing so. Now, why don't we say that when somebody's placing tariffs on you or blah blah blah, then we still say, oh, please, we beg you, we want, oh, please, please, please. Meanwhile, there are other bigger markets elsewhere that you can also depend on. Go there, explore the whole thing, and you'll be able to do so. You can sell to them, they can also sell to you, and you all be making money from there. Then the one who is trying to bully you, for lack of words, you can say, you know, cut my drift. But somebody is taking a bold step, and that is the Canadian leader. Chinese leader Xi Jinping and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney have announced lower tariffs, signaling a reset in their country's relationship after a key meeting in Beijing. Now, China is expected to lower levies on Canadian canola oil from 85% to 15% by the 1st of March, while Ottawa had agreed to tax Chinese electric vehicles at the most favored nation rate, 6.1%, Carney has said. Now, the deal is a breakthrough after years of straining ties and tit-for-tat levies. Now, Xi hailed the turnaround in their relationship, but it's also a win for Carney, the first Canadian leader to visit China in nearly a decade. He has been trying to diversify Canadian trade away from the U.S., his country's biggest trading partner, following the uncertainty caused by Trump's on-again, off-again tariffs. Now, the deal could also see more Chinese investment in Canada, right on America's doorstep. That's what I was talking about. Now, Carney himself seemed to allude to the fact that this was as a result of Trump's tariff, which have now pushed one of the U.S. key allies towards its biggest rival. He told reporters that Canada's relationship with China had been more predictable in recent months, and that he found talks with Beijing realistic and respectful. One of the biggest economies there, and then we have India as well. Go into talks with them. Then you have all those ones, and you can just begin to just ship your stuff to them, trade with them. Then the next door who want to place more sanctions on you, you say, well, he's saying that he wanted to make Canada the 51st state, right? So let's see what is going to happen there. Now that he's eyeing what do you call that place? The Greenland, maybe Canada will be 52nd state. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK at a minute past 12, and we're going to take a break. We come back, we continue with the details of the stories making the rounds this morning.
Call the studio now.
However, you can call the studio. Stay tuned, don't touch the dial. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody does it better.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 2 minutes past the top of the hour. As I did announce earlier on, exactly at 12:30, we'll be having our money man joining us. And today we are going to be looking at self-assessment tax. Well, you're supposed to be filing that by the 31st of January. If you fail to do so, who is supposed to do so? I mean, do you call? Are you one who is supposed to do so and you don't know? And by the time you say, Jack, the tax office has sent you that letter, and then you have to pay a penalty of £100, and you don't want to do that, do you? So you got to stay tuned. Or maybe you know somebody, you're not very sure your position, whether you are supposed to file your tax or whatever you got to do. But whatever it is, make sure you listen to us exactly at 12:30 when the money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GI Accountancy Services, joins us. Yes? All right then. Now let's move on and look at some of the other stories making the rounds this morning. So, all right. Well, when it comes to the U.S., once again, the U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to invoke the rarely used Insurrection Act to quell unrest at a federal immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis. He threatened to send in troops following a night of protests and vandalism in the Minnesota city after an agent shot a man in the leg. The Department of Homeland Security said an officer opened fire after he was attacked by 3 Venezuelan nationals with a shovel and broom handle. Now, tensions have been running high in Minneapolis since an immigration agent fatally shot Renee Nicole Gould, 37, last week, sparking nationwide protests. The Insurrection Act in the 19th century law that allows active duty military personnel to be deployed for law enforcement duties inside the U.S. Now, Trump has previously said he might invoke the 1807 law elsewhere without ever doing so. The president posted on Truth Social that he would use the law if Minnesota officials failed to stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists. Who are professional agitators? Well, the DHS said Wednesday's shooting occurred after a car chase involving a Venezuelan national, Julio Cesar Souza Celis, who was previously convicted for driving without a license. The agency's statement said after the pursuit, Souza Celis got out of the vehicle and fought with a federal agent. Now, 2 more migrants from Venezuela who entered the country illegally, Alfredo Alejandro Ayona and Gabriel Alejandro Hernandez Lezema, came out of a nearby apartment, according to the agency. All 3 attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and broom handle. DHS said before the agent opened fire, hitting Souza Celis in the leg. The agent was taken to the hospital. Souza Celis was also taken to a hospital with a non-life-threatening injuries. All 3 Venezuelans were arrested. Okay, well, so they are professional agitators, but he's going to invoke it. Will he? Well. I think there's so much going on for him, but let's see what is happening on that front. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London at 6 minutes past the top of the hour. Okay, let's look at this story and then we move on. Venezuela. What is Trump doing with their resources? But interestingly, the bodies of 32 Cuban soldiers and security personnel killed during the U.S. military intervention in Venezuela have arrived in Cuba for formal military ceremonies and burials. The Venezuelan government says more than 100 people were killed in the country during the U.S. raid on its capital, Caracas, on the 3rd of January. The Cubans were working as protection officers for the Venezuelan leader, Nicolas Maduro, when he was forcibly removed from the Venezuelan Venezuelan soil and taken to New York to face drug trafficking charges. The soldiers will be received with military honors and taken to the Ministry of Armed Forces in the capital Havana, where the public can pay their respects. Events will then be held in municipalities across the island, and a protest is due to take place outside the U.S. Embassy on Friday before the bodies are interred. Now, many of those killed were tasked protecting Maduro when U.S. Delta Forces troops entered his compound. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so where do you get your security from? It's quite an interesting one, right? Okay, let's move on. A bipartisan group of members of the U.S. Congress is visiting Denmark in what is seen as a show of support in the face of increasing pressure from President Donald Trump for the U.S. to annex Greenland, a semi-autonomous region of Denmark in the Arctic. The 11-member delegation is due to meet MPs as well as Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and her Greenlandic counterpart Jens Frederik Nielsen. The visit comes days after the high-level talks in Washington failed to dissuade Trump from his plans. He insists Greenland is vital for the U.S. security and that Denmark can defend it. Let me take it again. And that Denmark cannot defend it against possible Russian or Chinese attacks. But Denmark and Greenland say they are opposed to a U.S. takeover. So Denmark is part of NATO, right? So NATO can place its troops there if they are scared of Russia or China taking over their land. And of course, one thing that you got to know, that you got to understand, is that the U.S. have got their own military base there. And the U.S. is part of NATO. So if you are there, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing. But is it because of security issues or because of the earth minerals that they've got? Especially now with the glacier melting away and the earth resources being seen there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. 9 minutes by the top of the hour at a time. Starr Radio UK, the station, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
All right, then, let's move on to other parts of the world since our time is running like no man's business. Well, in the Middle East. Now, at the border crossing from Iran to Iraq, Kurdistan, the stern face of Iran's former supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, peers down at the trickle of the Iranians leaving the territory. He's watching you. Now, take snowflakes, confetti, the lorries and pedestrians arriving at this remote mountain pass. Now, meters away, just beyond the border post, an Iranian flag flutters in the snow. Now, Iran has shut down the internet and blocked the phone calls into the country, but its borders are still open. Inside the arrival hall, we find dozens of men and women and children, many arriving to visit family on the Iraqi side of the border. Now, no one we met said they were fleeing Iran because of the recent protests and government crackdown, but one man who asked us to hide his identity said U.S. security forces had shot him during a protest in central Iran last Friday. U.S. security forces. He said, I was hit in the face by 7 pellets round. He said, pointing out several wheels and bruises on his face. They struck above my eyelid, on my forehead, my cheek, my lip, under my ear, along my jaw. I had to use a razor blade to cut one of the pellets out. He told us he was too afraid of being arrested to get medical help, and that others injured during the government crackdown on protesters were also avoiding treatment out of fear that the security forces will arrive and arrest them. One of their friends told me he was hit by a pellet round. He told us his son, who is around 12 to 13 old, was struck twice in the leg by live ammunition. One of the bullets is lodged in the shin bone. They're terrified of going to hospital to have it removed. Okay, let me reiterate what I said there. Let me correct it. It said that they told us security forces, so not you, security forces, that Iranian security forces had shot them during the protests in central Iran last Friday. Iranian security forces, they told us that security forces had shot him during the protest in there. So he is also crossing over. But well, if you're watching it and you are in a part of the world, what do you think is going to happen there? But it's quite interesting. Do you think Trump has pulled his feet from the pedal? Now, for almost 2 weeks, Donald Trump has seemed on the verge of intervening in Iran. From his 2nd January threat to come to the rescue of protesters if the Iranian authorities use violence against them, to his promise this week that help is on its way, the U.S. president has sounded resolute. On Tuesday, a CBS journalist covering the president's visit to Detroit asked how Mr. Trump will respond if Iranian authorities started to execute detainees. The Iranian activist said the family of Irfan Soltani has been told the 26-year-old shopkeeper had been sentenced to death for participating in the protest. If they do such a thing, we will take very strong action, the president replied, saying his endgame in Iran was to win. Now, throughout Wednesday, there were growing signs that U.S. military action might be imminent. Now, American, Qatari, and British personnel stationed at the giant Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar were being relocated. U.S. embassy staff and civilians in Saudi Arabia were told to remain vigilant, recalling similar instructions last June, hours before U.S. bombers attacked Iran's nuclear facilities. So, with it saying, he's saying that, well, I think everybody is doing what they're supposed to do. Do you think that he's taking his foot off the accelerator pedal? And if so, how do you think that is going to pan out for the Iranians who have lost their life and the momentum at the moment? Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break, and we come back. We'll take you to other parts of the world and we look at what is happening there. Stay tuned and don't touch the dial.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse. Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodoma, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Prum Prum Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Welcome back to the program. This is Starr Radio UK at 17 minutes past the top of the hour. It is the Friday edition of the morning show. In the next 13 minutes, we'll be having our money man, Mr. Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, joining us live on the program. All right then. Well, let me say once again thank you to my producer, Mr. Francis Guy, to Perry as well. They are doing their best, making sure everything is ticking along nicely here when it comes to security and everything. Boy, they do good. All right then. Now let's move on. Well. So it's still in other stories making the rounds. A quick one from South Korea. Now, South Korean impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol will be jailed for 5 years over abuse of power, obstructing justice, and falsifying documents in relation to his failed martial law bid in 2024. This is the first of the verdict in 4 trials linked to his shock martial law decree. Now, although short-lived, the move triggered nationwide turmoil.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program. My sincere apologies for that. They were giving me some signs, but I couldn't get it, so I needed to get up or get off the screen to be able to address that. So thank you very much once again. Well, so the impeached South Korean leader is facing a 5-year sentence, jail term. So you cannot just make any moves like that. But democracy is crazy, right? The late Malik Dramani Mahama, a very, very close friend of ours of Starr Radio UK, and the president of Ghana is a brother of the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama. Malik, may his soul rest in perfect peace. He would say, democracy. He calls it democracy because things don't work the way it's supposed to be. But wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK. This is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Well, the 81-year-old Yoweri Museveni has taken a strong lead in partial results from Thursday's presidential election, the Electoral Commission has said. Figures announced on Friday morning put Museveni in front with 76% of the votes based on returns from 45% of the country's polling stations. He is followed by opposition leader Bobby Wine with 20%. Now, security forces have surrounded Wine's home in the capital, Kampala, effectively placing him and his wife under house arrest, his party said. Now, security forces have unlawfully jumped over the perimeter fences and are now erecting tents within his compound. The National Unity Platform Party has posted. Now police spokesperson Kituma Rizuke told the local broadcast at the NBS that as a presidential contestant, Wine was a person of interest, adding that the heavy security deployment around his home was for his own security. It's quite interesting, you know. They jumped into his compound. They say, we are protecting you, whether you like it or not. So if you put me here, you put the military or security agents around me, so I can't go out. Are they protecting me or are they restricting me? But that is African politics for you. Now it looks like Museveni definitely is going to win. And the chair, yesterday they talked about the chair of the Electoral Commission in Uganda, who was saying that his life was under threat. That they are saying if he dare announce Bobby Wine as the winner of the elections, is going to be. So virtually, you're not sure exactly where. So with that statement that was made the day before yesterday, or yesterday whilst the election was going on, do you think it portrays a free and fair election at all? Now, you've been in power 40 years plus. Has Ugandans see improvement in their lives? And are they trying to tell us that at 81 they don't have anybody qualified, well trained to be able to take over from him? Or are they all being controlled when it comes to that? Oh boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio, okay, 11:23 as we rush to the end of the first part of the program today. Don't you worry. Don't touch the dial. Continue to share your take with us as we go on. Well, U.S. is accusing South Africa's military of causing up to Iran. Well, I did say, didn't I? Give a dog a bad name. Give a dog a bad name. I will not be surprised if tomorrow they say that because of that, yeah, sanctions and all sorts coming in against South Africa. We know that already. Tariffs on high there. But before we go to Ghana, a quick one from here. Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has said for the first time expressed regret over the internet shutdown imposed during the country's disputed October elections, which were followed by the worst post-election violence in decades. Now, speaking to diplomats and representatives of international organizations in the capital, Dodoma, Hassan acknowledged the disruption caused by the government response, which included 6-day internet blackout and a heavy security crackdown. In the quote, she said, "We acknowledge the challenges of the unrest and violence in the election day or on the election day, and shortly thereafter, our response was essential to maintain constitutional order and ensure safety of all citizens and diplomatic community." Now, violence erupted after Hassan won the vote with more than 97%. Wow. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We are moving on. In Nigeria as well, Dangote accused the chair or the CEO of the NMDPRA of financial mispropriety, and after he was removed, this is what is happening. The Dangote refinery boosted its domestic petrol supply by 65% in December, increasing output from 19.4 million liters per day to over 32 million liters daily. Latest data from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority said yesterday. However, the jump in local supply by a huge margin in less than 1 month by the Dangote refinery followed the exit of the Esquire, Chief Executive Officer of the NMDPRA, Farouk Ahmed. Incidentally, on the day the data was released, the president of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, confirmed the increased supply, but said that the facility has now raised loading to an average of 50 million liters daily since President Bola Tinubu affected the leadership change at the agency. So, can we say that this person, Farouk, was sabotaging the supply of crude oil to the Dangote refinery at all? Because we know at the inception possession of the Dangote refinery, there have been lots of international saboteurs who were working assiduously to make sure that it doesn't work. And especially those who import finished products, petroleum products into the country, they see it as their whatever income being taken away from them, or their food being taken away from them. So we'll do anything. So I've been asking the question, why can't they buy from Dangote and sell it up? But well, ladies and gentlemen, 11:27. Let's go to Ghana, and I'll just touch on one. Okay, I'll just try to see whether I can touch on two stories before we bring our money man on. Well, the International Monetary Fund has reiterated its position that the Ghana Gold Board incurred losses of approximately $214 million under the government's gold purchase program. Under whose management, that is. The figure was highlighted in the staff report for the field review of Ghana's IMF-supported program. Now, speaking to the press briefing on Thursday, 15th of January, the IMF Director of Communications, Julie Kozak, explained that the assessment remains unchanged. So who is telling the truth here? The loss stemmed from trading activities fees and exchange rates movement. While it is not formally recorded on the government fiscal balance sheet, it ultimately represents a cost to the state. Ms. Kozak has said. She noted that the program also delivered benefits, including a build-up of international reserves and reduced pressure on the foreign exchange market during a challenging period for Ghana. Ms. Kozak further recommended that the losses be formally included on the government balance sheet rather than remaining on the books of the Bank of Ghana. Now, if it comes to the government balance sheet, what happens? Is it that they have to find ways and means to clear that debt or that loss? She added that the stronger transparency, governance, and risk management measures, particularly for gold board linked operations, are essential. So, is every of the operation above board, or what are we seeing? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. There are two people who are being wanted in Ghana, especially the former Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loans Center, known as Maslock Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, has been arrested and detained in the United States. In a statement issued on January 15 and signed by the Ghana ambassador to the United States, Victor Smith, it was disclosed that Sedina Tamaklo Ationu was arrested by the U.S. Marshals on January 6. The statement further indicated that she is currently being held at the Nevada Southern Detention Center located at 2190 East Masquet Avenue, Param, and is awaiting her day in court. It may be recalled that the former Maslock Chief Executive Sedina Tamaklo Ationu was tried in absentia and sentenced to 10 years in prison in April 2024, alongside Daniel Axim, a former Chief Operating Officer. Now, Axim was jailed for 5 years with hard labor for causing financial loss of up to the tune of 90 million Ghana cedis to the state after Tamaklo Ationu absconded while on court-approved travel abroad for medical reasons and failed to return to the country. Well, we have the U.S. ICE arresting her and everything. But do you think this makes her able to cough up, to pay up? Because one thing pursuing the person, but well, maybe it will serve as deterrent to others who want to follow the same course. But well, what do you think about the government's fight against corruption? Is it because one is in party A and therefore that is okay, and one is in party B and that is not okay? What do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we wait for the money man to join in, we will take a break, and once we have them, we'll be looking at self-assessment tax returns. Do you qualify to do so or not? Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Welcome back to the Starr Radio UK Friday edition of the morning show, exactly at 11:33, and I can tell you shortly, I've got no other one but the one and only Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man, who is joining us this afternoon to bring you the money hour. This is a program that when you listen to every time, you got something going into your pocket. So why not? Let me say good afternoon to you, Mr. Tabiri.
Good afternoon to you, Archie. It's a pleasure to come your way again this Friday afternoon.
Yes, a pleasure having you on as well. Hope you are doing very, very well.
Yes, I am very well, thank you.
We thank God for that. Okay. Yes, as we've announced, we are looking at self-assessment tax returns. Well, so for those of you listening to us, this pertains to the UK. So if you are listening to us from Ghana on other platforms or all the other bit that you are listening to that other outside the UK, please note this pertains to the UK. So first of all, self-assessment tax returns. Let me come to you.
Thank you, Archie. So self-assessment, January is always the period where we all get around get our taxes, self-assessment taxes filed. Self-assessment is HMRC systems for collecting income tax which have not been fully taxed through PAYE or what we call employment or any other form of direct taxation system. So self-assessment is used to report on income, capital gains, any allowances and reliefs which are available, and the period of capital gain, capital tax return or self-assessment tax return is from the 6th of April to the 5th of April the following year. So the tax year starts from 6th of April and also ends on the 5th of April. There's an interesting story about the tax year dates. And I would look into it and bring it to you.
Okay.
Why is that the tax year starts on the 6th of April and not the 1st?
Interesting, because in the UK we always drive on the right side. Everybody's doing wrong. We do the best. Yes. Go on, sir. Go on.
Yeah. So okay. So let's look at who's usually affected by self-assessment. So all self-employed people. So usually, if you are in employment, you are not expected to file a self-assessment tax return.
Okay.
Unless, for some reason, let's say you've got multiple jobs, and then maybe your tax coding has not been done right, and therefore the tax that's been collected over the year has not been done correctly.
Oh, okay. Required to
maybe asked by HMRC to file a tax return. Or you can initiate the process yourself and file a tax return.
Okay.
So that if you are owed any monies, then you can get your monies back. Self-assessment return.
Okay. Okay.
Other than that, all self-employed people earning over £1,000. So if you've got any business or trade at all that you are running as a self-employed, on a self-employed basis, doing this own name and earning over £1,000, then you are required to prepare self-assessment tax return.
Okay.
If you're earning less than £1,000, you are exempt. You can decide not to.
Less than £1,000 a month. A year. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Something like 87
pounds. Yeah.
To break it down. Also, if you are a partner in a business partnership, so you have a business partnership as well, you are required to file a self-assessment tax return. Also, company directors, unless all their income is taxed at source. So if you're a director, maybe you receive a salary, and on top of that, you also receive some dividends.
Okay.
Or you get some, taxable benefits. You have a company card that you use. Yes, so if all of those affect you, then you will be expected to complete a self-assessment tax return.
Okay. Okay.
Also, individuals, any other types of tax income. For example, rental income. So if you own a buy-to-let property, which you rent out, or even in your own home, if you rent a room, home that you live in, if you have any type of dividend income, any foreign income, cryptocurrency gains, capital gains. So if you've sold any capital assets or properties and you've made a gain, you are expected to file a tax return to report all of these income and gains. Also, there could be other instances where you may be required to prepare a self-assessment tax return. If your income is over £100,000, you may be required to do a tax return, mainly because after your income is £1,000, you start to lose your personal allowance. So for every £2 after £100,000, you lose £1.
Every £2. Can you reiterate that, please?
Yes, for every £2 above £100,000, you start to lose your personal allowance.
Okay. You lose it. Okay.
So, which means that if you earn around, but you have to earn around 125,000, then you lose all your personal allowance. At the moment, the UK personal allowance we know is £12,570. That's the allowance. That's the limit above which you start to pay income tax. Also, if you have income over 50,000 and you are claiming any child benefits, you may be required to prepare a self-assessment tax return.
Okay.
Yeah, then also you might be entitled to some reliefs which you can claim, or if you have some income from trust or estate, you will be required to also prepare a tax return. And sometimes you need a self-assessment tax return to also prove your income.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. To prove your income, but you are let's take it that you are working in a company, you are being paid now, and your taxes are being deducted at source. Do you still need to do that to prove your income?
No.
Okay.
If you are paid, if you are in paid employment, you have pay slips, you have PCs.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
To prove your income. But if you have, for example, if you have maybe some savings income,
mm-hmm.
You can't prove it. The only way you can prove it is to submit your bank account.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Tax return is a way of proving any income that has not already been taxed at source.
Okay. 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 Go on, sir.
Yeah, so that is for those who have to file. And then also, let's look at some key dates or some key deadlines. If you fall within the self-assessment tax regime, so for what we looked at before, if you have to file a tax return, you need to register with HMRC latest by the 5th of October after the tax year in which you start to earn that income which has not been taxed.
Mm.
The 5th of October. So, for example, we are currently in the year 2025-2026.
Yeah.
This year will end on the 5th of April 2026. So, if I've earned any self-employed income this year, or if I am required to file a self-assessment for this year, this tax year, then I'm required to register HMRC latest by the 5th of October 2026.
5th of October. Okay.
Yeah, so the 5th of October after the tax year,
The business.
If you don't, then you may be liable for penalties.
Ooh.
HMRC gets
To you. Don't let them get to you first. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GL Accountancy Services, our money man, who has joined us this afternoon, as he normally does, for the money hour. And today we are looking at self-assessment tax returns. Well, he's telling you more about who is due to do so. I mean, and if you are listening to us and you have any questions pertaining to that, please feel free, post them on our platform that we are broadcasting on, or if need be, if you want to call in as well, you can do so, and he will be able to do such for you as well. But as I said, the GIL Accountancy Services is the accountancy service that gives you everything that you need to know, from corporate tax, self-assessment, what you want to register a company, you want business, what do you call it, it's a business proposal as well. Anything, you got to get in touch with him, and he will see to address it for you. If you are watching us live, you will see all their details streaming under the broadcast, so please get in touch with him and he will help you a great deal. Over to you, Mr. Tabiri, please continue.
Yeah, so let's continue on with some key deadlines as well. So we've mentioned the registration deadline, and then we have the paper return deadline. So if for any reason you cannot complete your tax return online, then you have a deadline of 31st of October after the year, the tax year. Otherwise, the next deadline is 31st of January. If you are filing, cannot file on paper, then you have to file online. And if you are filing online, you have up to an extended deadline up to the 31st of January, following the tax year and date. Also, it's important to note that if you have any tax to pay, the first payment deadline is 31st of January, following the tax year. So that the same date as when the tax return needs to be filed.
Okay.
And if you are making payments on accounts, then your second payment has to be made on the 31st of July following year. Yes.
Following year.
Yeah, so 31st of January. So if you're doing payment on account, payment on account is like an estimate or
okay.
Payment of your following year's tax in advance.
Oh, okay.
If you fall into that regime, then you have to pay your account, your tax at 31st of January and 31st of July for the same year.
Just a quick one there. Are there people who do that? So they pay some of their taxes for next year. They maybe pay sometime this year, and then the following year. So come 2027, then they will do the second payment. Are there companies that do so, or individuals? My apologies.
Yes, individuals. Yes.
I see.
So there is the payment on account system. So what happens is that you see when you are employed. If you are employed by the 5th of April, or let's say the 19th of April, which is when employers are required to pay over any taxes that they have deducted from you. By the 19th of April, let's say for 2024-25, by 19th of April, HMRC would have received any taxes that they are required to collect. Self-assessment, HMRC, the government has to wait until the 31st of January to collect the taxes. So there is a 9-month delay.
Okay.
So the payment on account system is there for people who have tax liabilities. I think it's over £3,000.
All right.
And if you have that level of tax liability, then they expect you to pay all your tax for the following year by 31st July. So instead of waiting up to the end of the year, 31st July,
January to pay.
9 months after, by say 3 months or 4 months after the end of the tax year, the taxman would have received something.
Oh, okay.
And then, so it's like a tax that you're paying your following year's tax in advance. And then when you come to do your tax return, you credit.
Oh, okay.
If you've overpaid, then you get some money back. If you've underpaid, then you have to top up.
Okay, that's where I was going to ask, because I was going to say, well, people are not making too much profits, and therefore, if they pay, they estimate something and then they pay, and then it ends up that they didn't earn that much to pay that much. What happens? But now that you've said it, it will be credited to them. So, yeah, thank you. Go on, sir.
Yeah, so that's the payment on account system. Now, if you fail to submit your tax return on time, there are some penalties. So you have £100 fixed penalty if your tax return is 1 day late.
1 day.
1 day. So if you file your tax return on the 1st of February, 12:01, you have £100 penalty.
Ooh. Okay.
And then after 3 months, you have £10. If you still haven't filed it after 3 months, every day after 3 months is £10 per day, up to a maximum of £900.
Okay.
Then if you still haven't filed it after 6 months, you either pay 5% or £300 after 6 months. So then there are further penalties after 12 months. So if your tax return is over 12 months, you are potentially looking at a maximum penalty of £1,200.
Ooh.
These are just the penalties before they can surcharge you for make an estimate for the tax that they think you should be paying.
Oh, okay. 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 So does that affect your subsequent filing? Whether normally we get something like a credit where you are supposed you can file and then later then you pay. But with this, if you fail and you go through all this, would that stop you or stop them from allowing you to do so?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, you can still continue to file, but the penalties will remain.
You have to clear that. Okay. Okay, sir. All right then. Go on, sir.
Yeah, so it's 5%. There are also payments for penalties for late payment.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't pay your tax on time, there's 5% penalty after 30 days. There's 6 months, another 5% after 6 months if you're still unpaid, and another 5% after 12 months if you're still unpaid.
Wow.
It's an interest that's to be charged, and interest also charged on late payments as well.
Okay. Interesting. Go on. Yeah.
Let's look at some tax reliefs that are available when you are doing your tax returns. So that's why it's important for you to engage a professional person to do your tax returns. You might think that it's very simple, or I've only got one source of income. It's very easy. It's very simple. So I want to do it myself and save on professional fees. There might be some reliefs that take advantage of that you are not aware of because you are not a tax person, a tax professional. So it's important that you reach out to an accountant to help you prepare your tax return. That's the advice that I can give you.
Okay.
So let's look at some of these. So you can claim gift aid relief if you pay tax at above the tax threshold. So if, for example, if you make any charitable donations during the year, the charity claims 20% of that donation as part of their gift claims.
Okay.
The other 20% can also be claimed by the donor through their tax return.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So where the donor pays tax at 40%, that band, that threshold will be lifted up by the amount of charity donations that they have made. In effect, giving them a tax, 20% tax deduction.
Okay.
On their self-assessment.
When you talk about those charities that you're talking about, is it religious organizations or charities just if they are registered for this? Okay. In the UK.
In the UK, yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Please go on.
Okay. Also, if you make any private pension contributions, so you maybe you are employed, but you set up an additional private pension contribution, pension fund. Put money in, or you are self-employed and you have what we call a self-invested pension plan.
Yeah.
You can also claim back the tax relief on that pension fund contribution that you've made. Again, this will lift your basic rate band, stretch it to the extent that of the contributions that you have made.
But Mr. Tabiri, last week when we were talking about the pension contribution, I think we did mention something of the sort, and we were looking at with the budget statement that was made by the Chancellor. You were saying that they were going to be paying some taxes on our pensions. So with this, now that you didn't pay tax on it with this pension bit, the self pension, the private pension contribution that you are doing, are you later on when you are going to take that money going to pay tax on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
So that's why you get to the exemption now, but because you're not taking the income. But when you eventually retire, then it becomes income in your hands.
Okay.
It becomes accessible for tax.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Then we also have £1,000 trading allowance, as we mentioned. You don't have to even do a self-assessment tax return. Your trading income is less than £1,000. Similar to if you have a property you're earning income from property and it's only £1,000, then you don't have to you don't have to make any tax return submissions.
Okay.
There are things like capital gains tax reliefs, which you can take advantage of if you sell a property. You have an annual exempt amount. You need to know this. If you sell a business, you may be entitled to what we call a business asset disposal relief. There's also what we call rollover relief and holdover reliefs. These are all complicated reliefs which you need to know what you're doing. So, for example, if you sell a house, but you use the proceeds to buy another house, we're talking about a buy-to-let property.
Yeah.
So you're investing the proceeds directly into another property. Then you don't pay capital gains.
Okay.
The gain is rolled over to the next property. So when you eventually sell that property, that's when capital gains begin to take effect. But
okay.
You need to claim the reliefs. Tax return. So you need to know what you're doing to be able to take advantage of these reliefs.
Okay.
Again, if you have any professional fees, let's say you are a nurse, you are employed, you pay subscriptions to your association, Registered Nurses Association, or you are a doctor, you pay subscriptions to the Gardner Medical Association, or any other body at all that you work for and you pay any subscriptions. These are all taxable deductions which you can claim from your tax return. If you, for example, travel for work or travel for work, which is a qualifying business expense, you may be able to claim that your self-assessment. Things like working from home expenses.
Yeah.
Work from home, there's an allowance available which you can claim. These are all employment-related expenses or reliefs which are available for you to claim.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, for example, there are also reliefs for losses. So if you have a trade, you made a loss in the previous year, you can carry forward that loss to the current year to offset your profits.
Okay.
That helps you to reduce your taxable profit. Yeah, so these are all losses. You can offset some losses against other income. And you need to know how or when that is applicable. There's also what we call terminal loss relief. So if you have a business that's running down the business, you are allowed to carry back any final losses to the previous 3 years of trade.
Okay, 3 years. Okay.
Yes. So these are all loss reliefs which are available. So the tax return is not a very it's not as simple as sometimes put across. There's also marriage allowance. I think we've spoken about marriage allowance at length. And through the tax return, you may be able to also make a claim for marriage allowance as well. Where this is where you transfer 10% of any unused allowance to another spouse who is under the basic rates tax threshold. Yeah, so essentially the self-assessment is important because it ensures that the correct tax is paid and that we also have access or gain access to reliefs that are not usually available through our PAYE or employment taxation system.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, bringing you the Money Hour, and today we'll be looking at self-assessment tax returns. Well, it ensures that the correct tax is paid and the necessary reliefs that you need to get from there, you get it. But if you try to do it by yourself, that some people will try to do, it's very simple, then you at times you find yourself where you don't understand figures very, very well, either underpaying, and later on the tax the man, HMRC, coming to say you underpaid and you don't want to do so, or you'll be sitting there not knowing what to do and waiting, and by the time the 31st elapses down, you find yourself in big problem, paying penalties. You don't want to do so. So we have the man himself, GIL Accountancy Services, the boss, the CEO himself, Mr. Tabiri, who comes on the program every Friday to address issues pertaining to your taxes, and not necessarily taxes, everything pertaining to your money, from business, how to run business and everything. But he's here like today, and we've had a look at the self-assessment. But Mr. Tabiri, if somebody is listening to you for whatever reason, they've not been, they're supposed to have filed this self-assessment return, but they've not been able to do so because they are just running around, blah blah blah. Are they able to contact you for you to see, to address it, or is it too late for them now?
Yes, so the window is closing in. Today is the 16th, so effectively we've got roughly about 2 weeks. So yes, the window is closing in. I won't be able to help you if you reach out now. If you leave it too late, then I might have to, give you the bad news to pay 100. The window is still open. If you still need help with your tax return, please reach out to me on 079-6124-8834, 079-6124-8834, or if you contact the studio, my contact details will be given to you, and I'll be looking forward to helping you to get over the deadline and not get any penalties.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. It has been a pleasure coming your way. We're going to be running up the program. But before Mr. Tabiri goes, what do you want to tell the listeners before you go, sir?
Yeah, so by all means, we'll be coming your way again in the next weeks, coming up, sharing some useful information on tax and accounting matters and anything else that we think is relevant for financing in your home and all that. So this is a platform for sharing knowledge and sharing ideas. If you have any questions, or there are any particular topics or issues that you want us to look at in the future, please send a message into the studio, and we'll be more than happy to bring that your way in the coming weeks.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of GIL Accountancy Services, our money man. We want to say thank you for in-depth knowledge that you've shared with us, and we wish you a wonderful day and a happy weekend. We'll see you later on.
Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
All right, and thank you. Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Mr. Dan Tabiri, CEO of JL Accountancy Services, our money man, bringing you the money hour. And today we looked at self-assessment tax returns. The expiry date, the 31st. You don't want to fall prey to that, so that you end up paying some more money, penalties. You don't want to do so at all. But that's why I have to bring the program to a close for today. It's been a pleasure coming your way, those of you who listen to us via various platforms. But for the contact of our money man, Mr. Dan Tabiri, let me put it across once again. You can email him at gilaccountants.com, accountants with an S.com, dan@gilaccountants.com, dan@gilaccountants.com, or you can call him on 079-612-48834, and the numbers are rolling under the broadcast at the moment, so please make sure that you get in touch with him there as well. But on that note, let me say thank you very much to each and every one of you who tuned in, those of you home here in the UK, those of you abroad, wherever, any platform that you listen to us there. Continue to share the good news. Starr Radio UK, we are here and we'll make sure we bring you the best in anything. Until I come your way on Monday with another edition of the morning show, it's been me, your one and only Archie, saying have a top of the day and see you all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm out like that. Bye. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired. Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Thanks for listening.